What if I told you there is a village hidden deep inside the mountains? So hidden that most people who once saw it later couldn't even explain if it was real or just a dream. A place where time doesn't behave the way it does in the outside world. Close your eyes slowly and take a deep breath. Imagine leaving behind every sound of traffic, phones, and busy city life. You are now stepping into a world where only silence begins to guide you. A narrow mountain path appears in front of you, covered with soft green moss and fallen pine leaves. Tall trees rise above like ancient giants protecting something sacred inside the forest. With every step forward, the modern world fades further away. The air becomes cooler, fresher, and deeply calming as you move deeper into the mountains. Birds sing softly from far above, as if they are speaking in a forgotten language. Everything around you feels slower, gentler, quieter. Sunlight slips through the trees in soft, golden lines, touching the forest like warm water. A distant stream can now be heard, flowing calmly through stones and roots. It feels like the mountain is slowly guiding you somewhere unknown. Hours pass, yet you no longer feel tired or rushed in any way. The path becomes softer, covered in thick moss and wild mountain flowers. Every step feels like you are walking deeper into a hidden memory. A light mist begins to rise between the trees, turning everything into a quiet dream. Shapes of distant mountains slowly appear and disappear through the fog. It feels like the world is holding its breath. The forest suddenly opens slightly, revealing a wide, peaceful valley far below. Tiny streams of smoke can be seen rising in the distance. Something or somewhere is hidden beyond those mountains. You pause for a moment, listening only to the wind passing through the valley. No human sound reaches here, only nature speaking in soft whispers. And yet, you feel like you are being watched, gently, not in fear, but in silence. As you move forward again, the shape of a hidden place begins to appear between the mountains. Small structures, stone paths, and soft lights flickering in the distance. You have finally found something that should not have been found so easily. As you step closer, the hidden village slowly reveals itself between the folds of the mountains. Stone cottages sit quietly under soft layers of mist, as if they have been waiting for centuries. Everything feels untouched, preserved in a moment that time forgot. A narrow wooden bridge creaks gently under the wind, crossing a crystal-clear stream. The water below flows so calmly that it reflects the sky like a mirror. You feel as if even sound here has learned to move slowly. Small gardens appear beside each cottage, filled with wildflowers growing freely without order. No fences feel strict, No paths feel forced. Everything blends naturally into the land. The village does not feel built. It feels grown from the earth itself. An old stone path leads you deeper into the heart of the village. Smoke rises softly from chimneys, drifting upward like slow-moving thoughts. The air carries the warm scent of baked bread and mountain herbs. A few villagers move quietly, without rush or noise, as if speaking too loudly is unnecessary here. Their faces hold a calm expression that feels unfamiliar in the modern world. It is not silence of emptiness, but silence of peace. An elderly man sits near a wooden bench, carving something slowly from a piece of wood. Each movement of his hands feels intentional, patient, and deeply peaceful. Time around him seems to stretch and relax. Children pass by the meadow quietly, laughing softly as they chase drifting butterflies. Their joy feels gentle, not loud, like ripples on a still lake. Even happiness here respects silence. A soft bell rings once from a small church at the edge of the village. The sound travels across the valley and slowly disappears into the mountains. It does not command attention. It simply exists. You notice something unusual. There are no clocks anywhere in sight. No one looks at time, yet everything seems perfectly in rhythm. It feels like the village listens only to nature itself. As you stand in the middle of the village, a deep calm begins to settle inside you. The world you left behind feels like a distant memory that no longer matters. And here, you begin to understand why some places choose to remain forgotten. You begin walking deeper into the village, and the air feels even softer than before. Every sound is faint, as if the world has turned its volume down just for this place. It feels like the village is slowly accepting your presence. A narrow lane leads you past old stone houses covered with green climbing vines. The walls look aged, but not broken, like they have been gently preserved by time. Everything here feels alive in a quiet, steady way. You notice a small fountain in the center of a peaceful square. Water drips slowly from stone into stone, creating a calming rhythm. No one seems to hurry past it. Everyone simply exists around it. A soft wind passes through the village, carrying the scent of fresh bread and mountain flowers. It touches your face gently, like a reminder that you are safe here. Even the wind feels familiar, as if it knows this place well. An old woman sits near her doorway, knitting slowly, watching the mountains in silence. Her eyes carry stories that were never written down, only lived. She smiles slightly, not at anyone, but at the moment itself. You pass a small bakery where warm light spills out into the quiet street. Fresh bread rests on wooden shelves, still steaming in the cool air. The smell is comforting enough to slow your thoughts even more. Far above the village, the mountains stand still, like ancient protectors. Their peaks disappear into soft clouds that never seem to move quickly. It feels like even the sky respects the stillness of this place. You realize there are no loud conversations anywhere around you. Even when villagers speak, their voices are soft and measured. Silence here is not empty. It is shared. A group of children sits under a tree, drawing shapes in the soil. They do not rush their play, as if time itself is not important. Their laughter comes and goes like gentle waves. As you stop for a moment, you feel something unusual inside your mind. All thoughts of the outside world feel distant, almost unimportant now. It is as if the village is slowly teaching you how to forget stress. As evening slowly begins to fall, the village becomes even quieter than before. Soft, golden light spreads across the rooftops like a warm blanket. It feels like the entire place is preparing for a peaceful night. You walk past narrow paths where lanterns begin to glow gently, one by one. Their light is soft, not bright, just enough to guide without disturbing the silence. The village now feels like a dream, slowly waking inside the night. Some villagers begin closing their wooden doors slowly, without noise or rush. There is no urgency in their movements, only calm acceptance of time. Even endings here feel peaceful. A distant bell rings once again from the small church on the hill. The sound travels across the valley and slowly fades into the mountains. It feels less like a signal and more like a blessing. You notice the sky above turning deep shades of blue and soft purple. Stars begin to appear one by one, quietly watching over the village. Night here does not feel dark. It feels gentle. A cool breeze moves through the streets, carrying the scent of pine and warm stone. Lantern light flickers softly against the walls of ancient cottages. Everything feels wrapped in a slow, calming rhythm. You stand still for a moment, realizing how long it has been since you felt rushed. No pressure, no deadlines, no noise, only quiet existence. The village has slowly changed the way you feel time itself. In the distance, you see the mountains fading into darkness like sleeping giants. The village below them glows softly, as if protected by the night itself. It feels like nothing here can ever truly be disturbed. A final thought passes through your mind. Maybe this place was never meant to be found. maybe it only appears to those who need to remember what peace feels like. And once that is learned, it quietly disappears from memory. As you slowly close your eyes, the village begins to fade into silence and mist. The mountains remain, but the path back becomes unclear, like a forgotten dream. And all that is left with you is deep, calm stillness, guiding you gently into sleep.